Hello everybody, and we're gonna check out this cool world called Udon Sword. It's a nice little multiplayer PvE dungeon designed for up to 4 people. I tested it out a little bit ago and it was really neat. It was really awesome. Basically, you get to choose one of 4 different classes and go through a little dungeon. So I'm just gonna kind of go over what some of those classes are and how to use this place. First things first, there are a lot of information panels. Probably not a bad idea to read them, but we're just gonna jump right into it. So first thing, you're gonna want to join. So like right here behind me, there's a nice little join/leave, and when you do so, you get this nice little info display here about your character. Let me move that so you can kind of see. Oh, yeah, that's not gonna work. Stream camera. But anyway, then you can basically reach right here next to your head and click, and it gives you different classes that you can choose. So, you've got your tank, your sword and board tank, you've got your healer spellcaster, you've got your archer, I'll call him an arcane archer, and you've got your samurai. So each one is actually very important. And you're probably going to be better at some than others. So we'll start off with the tank. It'll give me a shield and a sword. So, yeah, cool. The tank has 2 different special abilities. They have Provoke and Shield Bash. Shield Bash is triggered on your shield hand, and Provoke is triggered on your sword hand. One of the main things with the tank, though, is you cannot hit enemies with your sword if your shield is pointing at them. So you have to kind of time your defense and time your attacks accordingly. That's pretty neat. So let's go beat up that training dummy real quick. Which is down here. So cool. We've got a training dummy, and we're going to go over there and hit him. So note how he is pointing at me, and if I try and do this isn't going to do anything. But if I move my shield out of the way, I can hit him. So you would block, attack a few times, block, and so on and so forth. And then your abilities, are triggered on the triggers. So you've got your cooldowns here on the shield. We'll do Shield Bash first, since that's very useful. It stuns them a little bit, so you hit them with your shield and trigger your left trigger. And then for Provoke, you hit your sword trigger and then smack them with it. And note how your cooldowns will go back. You can also target them with your Provoke, or you can do an AoE Provoke. So if you have a whole bunch of enemies right there next to you, you can hit all of them with your Provoke, which is pretty useful. So yeah, I mean, that's the tank in a nutshell. I really enjoyed that. You can change classes as long as you're not in combat. In training, I don't think it actually matters here, but next up, we'll try out the healer. Healer, you got a book and a rod. Or staff, rod. It's a staff for me because I'm kind of short, but you've got all these different spells. Well, I guess you can't actually see them. You can't read. Ha, sorry. There's an attack spell, heal spell, healing yourself spell, cure spell, and cure yourself spell. So some of the neat things with this, you choose your spell with your book hand by going through the trigger, and then you cast it with your staff hand by holding in the trigger. So you have these neat little effects. So that's kind of like the attack. You have to wait for it to charge, and then you would do this to attack. So let's fight that training dummy again. But this time we can be a little bit further away. So we need to get in combat. So once you're in combat, you can kind of move back a fair amount of space. So the nice thing is you get a little bit of range with this class. Let's see, we go pretty far. This isn't bad, but now that I'm charged up, you would then make your motion like that, and it hits them. You charge up, and hit him. You could probably do some cool things. Just like that. Yeah, It is a neat little class. You know, if you need to heal yourself, you change your spells real quick by just, it sounds like a turning page. So I want to heal myself. Yay, I'm healed. So yeah, that's kind of that class. Pretty neat little thing. We'll put those away. All right, let's try the archer. Full disclosure, I am horrible at the archer. So, neat little thing though. You've got 3 different arrow types. You've got your fire arrow, you've got your poison arrow, and you've got your lightning arrow. You just, whatever hand is holding onto the bow, you use your trigger to change those. Now, where the archer is useful, they do pretty good damage, but also you can hit things from far away, which is great for pulling aggro. That way you don't have to get an entire room of enemies, you know, on you or on your tank. Ideally, you would have somebody as an archer hit them and then have the tank intercept them, and then you have your samurai kind of swing around and hit them from behind and so on and so forth. But let's see if I can actually hit this training dummy. So here you grab and then hold back, and the tip of your arrow will kind of light up with whatever effect that you have. So here's the different effects. And then you do your best to hit your enemy by letting go. Yeah, see, I missed. I did the exact same thing. I am not a great archer. Nor did I pretend to be. Oh, you know, see, yay, I hit him. And this is probably why I am not going to be your archer. And then next class, we're going to be the samurai. So samurai's interesting. You've got no defense, you're all offense. Basically, your goal is to get like a nice little combo, and then you can charge your sword up and hit them for maximum damage. The big thing though is, you know, just learning how to use it. So note how I have nothing around this, it's just kind of a sword. So, you know, we're gonna go mess this training dummy up. So it is single-edged, so make sure you're only hitting them with the sharp part of the blade. That's another thing with the tank. It is double-edged, so you can kind of swing back and forth, but they do prioritize broad swings, so you can't just, you know, do this. You really need to, like, actually swing the swords and such. But, you know, I'm gonna hit, and note how there's now a little green ball there. Hit again, there's another. So you can build up a 5-hit combo. Well, yeah, so once you've got kind of a 5-hit combo built up, you basically have to have your sword behind you, press in the trigger, but be looking at your enemy. So you can't be looking at your sword. You'll hear it charge up, and then you can hit for a lot more damage. And that's the main thing. So with the samurai, you kind of want to be in like behind them, so you can kind of build up, and then you gotta wait for it to actually charge, and then hit them. So, good damage, but you don't really have anything in the way of defenses. So, I mean, that's kind of like the quick little class overview. You don't actually have to, it doesn't really matter what hand you use for either of these things. But yeah, it's neat. Don't bother with the reverse grip, it's really hard to use, trust me, I tried. But yeah, it's a little fun kind of thing. I liked all of the classes except for the archer, mostly just because I'm pretty bad at the archer. But I am going to go aggro some monsters real quick. We'll do this as the tank. That way maybe I'll actually survive a fight. This is really not designed for solo, so I don't really expect this to go super well, but we'll see how it goes. At least with this, I might be able to survive a decent amount. Use. We've got 2 skeletons coming up. I guess it doesn't really matter. No matter what, they're both gonna aggro. So one problem I constantly have is I keep clicking buttons when I really don't mean to. That was still painful. Oh, see, I didn't move my shield out of the way. I died. But that's not fully unexpected. I mean, I was kind of solo. Probably if I actually did better with my shield and moving my sword out, or my shield out of the way with my sword swings, probably would have done a little better. But, you know, that's how it goes. Oh, and I respawned. They do heal up if your entire party dies, so probably not the best. Let's see if I can do this again. And not suck. That's probably not gonna happen, but see, ideally if I could get one of them, it wouldn't be so bad. But shield bash. Oh. Ow. Well, I got one of them. Oh, my shield bash isn't ready. There! I did it! Hooray! I don't even know if that was a good camera angle, but we killed some skeletons. Oh, I'm on mute. Yeah, that's the problem I keep having. I keep pressing various buttons. Either like, oh, my gestures are off. Oh god, I can't move. So, you know, be aware of that. But yeah, it's fun. Hooray. Udon Sword, go check it out.